Alright guys, so this will be a review of my ERTL Cat 5080. Unlike other reviews, this will be one straight review. There won't be different parts to it or anything, and I would also like to put out there that mine is modified with metal tracks. So anyway, to get it started, I had to modify the drive motor and the idler for the metal tracks, and I'll get to that in a second. But this is my first front shovel model, and I'm very glad that I have it. To start off with the bucket. Bucket is really nice. I believe that this is one of the few buckets on the 1/50th scale market to actually have cylinders in the back of it, like the real machine, to open and close the bolt clamp. This is it opened. Cylinders are very stiff, by the way, and then this is it closed. Obviously, and it also opens to a very nice angle. Front of it has very large teeth, and the inside of it has really nice wear plating, actually. Surprisingly, as old as this model is, ERTL did paint these rivets. Others they didn't, unfortunately. The whole setup of the model is really nice. There's really not too much to review, as you could tell, but it goes to a height right here, and then you can raise the stick and go taller, and then the bucket can close, and then it will also go deep, but I only go to around right there, and it also spins at 360. And like I said, there really isn't much to review. This is probably going to be a very short review. Now, one thing I have to say is the cylinders on this model are not terrible, but they're very easily breakable. And when I say very easily, I mean most likely if someone does buy this model, they will break one of their cylinders unless they grease them. And I used a little Vaseline to grease mine because I broke one, and then I had to pay 15 bucks to get a new cylinder, but it did come with everything else. So regardless of the fact, the long cylinders will probably break. This one broke on mine. I actually replaced it, but as you can tell, it's the Cat logo, and the cylinder isn't painted too well, so it doesn't really match the machine, and it's also huge rivets. And the other side is pretty much the same thing, but surprisingly it does have lifting lugs. This side doesn't feature any handrails, as you could tell, but it does have the anti-slip texture over here and up top. The decaling is very nice. It's nice and vivid, which I like a lot. And then you also see you have your air cleaner and your exhaust, and they both are metal, I believe. Over here, coming around to the counterweight, you can see it follows the same style as the Cat 375 because an excavator, a normal excavator version, this is a Cat 375. And again, decaling is very nice, and it even has the bolt detail, which I like a lot. On this side, you can see over here it's very thin, but I guess it's the scale, it's the vent. It doesn't go through anything, but as you could hear, it is etched. Has the cab riser and also the cab guard, which I like. I mean, it's not really something you would see on every quarry excavator or mining excavator, but it's there, and they put the effort there to put it in, so you gotta point that out. Going to the top of the machine, on the inside, I think I might even have a part in there. No, I took it out. The inside even has the etched anti-slip texture in there, and the hydraulic motor. You can tell this model doesn't have any hydraulic lines or anything. It is very old. And the anti-slip texture and the bolt detail up there. Now, the rubber tracks were taken off, and then I added these metal ones. The thing about these metal ones are that this model is so old, the rollers are so wide that I literally had to chop down the rollers, and as you could tell, there's even some glue residue still, and the tracks don't really fit this model, but for display purposes they do, and that's good enough for me. But the undercarriage is pretty huge, as you notice. I don't know what it is, or maybe the real ones like that, but the tracks come up so high, and like I said, I really don't know why they do that, but it is cool how they have the drive motors there. That is pretty surprising from a model of this age. And coming around this side again, you can see it's got the steps and everything. It's really not that crazy of a model. You can see that the tracks fall off very easily, so you actually have to put them inside the rollers. Anyway, to sum up the review of this model, obviously this model is kind of hard to find now, so this isn't like a review of the of like a WSI model or a CCM model where people are looking at the review to purchase one. I mean, I'm sure someone will, but this isn't a model that you could just go to a retailer and just buy it anymore. Really isn't that much detail on it, as you can tell. The build quality of the metal, how strong the metal is, kind of sucks. I mean, I could even tell some of my pins are coming out, especially over here, but it's just a classic model to have, I guess you could say, and it is my first front shovel. It's strictly for display purposes. As you could tell, my tracks are kind of falling off and everything, so I just kind of use it for display purposes. But it really is a nice model, and hope you enjoyed this review, guys, and that's pretty much it.